Hey, how's it going, all you lovely people at Door Shutter, coming back to you with a brand new episode of Project Architect 2. And today, the ore machine processing thing is completed. So, with this being created, I am excited because I think this technically is 5 times, 6 times-ish, maybe a little bit more of ore, because you go from 1 to 3, but there's an asterisk here where it can be boosted. We did not boost it, but it will actually still provide us occasionally a little bit of another chunk. Overall, right, we got the 55% chance of getting a fourth chunk. So 3, we have a chance to get 4. And then here, of course, that just breaks it down into fluid. And then here, this actually breaks it down into kind of the same thing as the first one. Where, if I could type, you can actually just look up the molten iron. And you can see that there is a 100% chance. Or is that 100% or is it only 25%? See, I don't get that additional chance. Is it you only get one? I actually have no idea. 3, 3, 2, 2, 5. Nope, 5, 3, 3, 2, 2, 2, 2. So it's really inconsistent because I see 2, I see 5, I see 3. So you kind of get overall, that's like ore. So 3 times 2. We'll say 3 times 2, so 6 times. But you at the end also can get anywhere from 5 ingots out of this to 3 ingots per. So it's really inconsistent. But overall, you know you will be guaranteed to get 6 ingots out of this per operation. That is your baseline. Everything else is extra, which everything else being extra is fantastic. I also was deciding to look at these uncommon knowledge and stuff from the Dimlet, or from the Drigme farm, and we still don't have everything, by the way. I was just kind of poking around. We actually just got structures. Looks like we're getting some common blocks, some storage blocks. I don't even know what. Oh, storage blocks. Like, yeah, like quartz and stuff, right? Quartz bricks, blocks of quartz, a whole bunch of good stuff like that. What is this one? Mineable Paxel. We can just convert these guys to a higher tier, because that's the only use for these guys after that fact, so. But yeah, hoping the ore system will do us just fine. I'm hoping it'll do us justice. But overall, I think it works out fantastic. It's a really cool, interesting thing. Thermal extras, thermal expansion, just kind of allowing us to do that is absolutely fantastic. And I think it is time to kind of move on to the next portion here, which is Powah, my bad, Powah, and getting this automated with AE2. And what I mean by this is several of these energizing orbs, because I never do just one, because doing multiple makes this much quicker. But I'm hoping we have enough power to do this. That's the other, thing. Because you can see we actually are only at 38,000 buffer. What is happening? There's some shenanigans afoot. This thing is like bouncing back and forth. I've added more generators and stuff here too. Okay, so how I just went about solving this, I actually added 2 flux plugs. There's one down here and there's one here. That looks normal, but there's just 2. It seems to have stopped the constant battle between all of this, so that should be fantastic. Yeah, we should be golden with that now. And we should be able to kind of do more power, I'm hoping. If I need to add another flux plug, I can. But I know this stuff just kind of tanks power and then it, kind of fills back in. But I want to work on getting through all the tiers of power before we kind of do anything else. So, one thing, I have this little setup, and I never talked about this, but basically it's just filtering item cards back and forth, right? There's items that get sent in, items that get pulled out. So, for example, block of diamond goes in. This is put in the barrel. It goes in here. It turns into the block of niotic crystal. And then it gets sent back into the barrel. Okay? And so, whenever I want to do a new one, all I am doing is I'm taking the new piece. I'm going to put emerald here. And for some reason, I have this filter here, which I'm actually just going to take out because I don't think I need that. And we send it in. Right? We let this go, And this will make the spirited tier for Powah. And it'll get us 9 per, which you can see that this requires 9 million FE, which is absolutely absurd. But this should still be able to be done. And we'll probably just feed emeralds in, by the way, because I think it's equivalent at the end of the day to how much power you use and probably time. But I don't know. We will have to look at that. I would assume it should be equal, but I don't know. So after we get that, I accidentally just converted that to a single. We want to put that in here, and that should be good. And then, of course, same thing for when we want to do singles. Same thing if we want to do blazing, hardened steel, all of that stuff. We can do it pretty simply. Okay, but that gets us that. And the final tier, which is the Nether Star, 2 blocks of redstone. And what was the last one? I think it's a block of blazing, right? Yes. Block of blazing. Okay, we don't have any. Let's just quickly craft one up here. So we probably need to go in here. Add this guy, and this guy. Oh, I understand why I have this guy. Hold on. My bad. We want to keep this guy because this is the counting filter. And we really don't need this one. Opposite of what I did. Okay, we toss those in there. That should now work. And the other thing is, of course, we'll want to get the highest tier energizing rod, so this actually outputs more power quicker. And does everything faster. Because this is 20 million FE. And it's going to take a minute because we've actually not even got fully blazing here. We have some hardened, and that is also an issue. So we will address that here in a while. But, yeah. So basically, the Powah tiers that we want to work on getting energizing orbs for are right here. So the energized steel, blazing crystal, niotic crystal, spirited crystal, nitro crystal. All of these require separate energizing orbs, at least in my book. Of course, you saw that the nitro, with the one we're currently crafting, actually requires block of blazing crystals. So that is definitely something that we are going to want a separate one, because we don't want this thing to be like, hey, I need this, and then be, occupied by something else. Okay. So I'm going to work off camera to get these guys upgraded to probably the highest I possibly can. And remember, not every tier requires the max, because not every tier is that insane. Yeah, for example, 90,000 FE will get you the blazing crystal. Same thing here, 300,000. This one here, 1 million. And each one of these guys does a different amount. So just, base it on what you want to do. If, for example, I wanted to, for this one, I could probably get away with doing 2 spirited. 2 spirited and then maybe like a lesser tier, a niotic and a spirited. 3 of those would get you basically equivalent to that. Or you could just send it with 1 nitro, right? So I'm going to get all this together off camera. Also, side note, this system is imperfect. I will let you know that because it is not meant to be perfect, because we're not doing like full advanced auto crafting. The way I've got it set up, it would only allow for the diamond and also blaze block to go in, and all these other pieces, right? So if I put this in here, it's going to cause it to break. If I had the emerald filtered properly, it would also cause it to break. Just be aware, not the best system. Laser IO can do a lot. It's just I don't have it set up to do that right now. So, okay. So I've got the energizing orb set down, and I've got the rod set down, and you can see all these red lasers. When you hold the create wrench, so this has to be the create wrench, you can shift right click until you get to the link mode. And what you do is you just right click, and right click, and right click, if I can click, here we go. And you can see that it says started linking, by the way. That's kind of when you know you need to right click. This allows for you to just reconnect the rods to the proper location. So if you have a whole bunch of these grouped together, just like how this is, you can set them to where you want. And of course, you can visualize and make sure everything is golden. The other modes, by the way, you could do, of course, rotate, config, which basically just creates this to be a wrench. You can pop stuff off, but when you do that, just make sure you go back to link because it will break. it will not save its information. So, perfect. Okay. How do we want to go about automating this? Well, I think how I want to do this is this one's going to be hardened, the energized steel, not the hardened steel, energized steel. So energized steel, blazing crystals, and then this goes to niotic, and then the spirited, and then the nitro. I'm going to do one of these on camera, and then the rest are going to be done off camera. So let's get this going. So pattern provider, and I think... let me think. Hold on. So this is actually the wrong pattern provided. This is an extended. I don't need an extended. I need this. So let's just grab 5 of those real quick. So I'm thinking we probably just want to do laser IO just to make this simple. So one thing I want to check, and I don't remember if I've tried this in the past, so we're going to just do it again if I have. Because I don't know if laser nodes can actually pull out of this like it's an inventory. So we're going to just check this out. So put this down. We're going to turn blocking mode on. On the down direction, we're going to extract. Didn't mean to put that in there. On the down direction, extract. On the top direction, input. And see if that works. So let's grab a Fluix cable. Okay. And then I want to get up here if I can. And this is the energized steel. Okay. That does not appear to work that way. So if I were to pull this back and do the flatten pattern provider and put this pattern in here, cancel this pattern, do this one more time, so just a set of 2. That already completed. So then we just need to extract. Let's do laser IO. This. 2 item cards, so we can do the extract. Let's just change these while we're out of this. So channel 1, insert channel 1, so extract. The down direction, that. So that's going to be the issue, is now that we've got items in there, they are trying to feed back. So we just want to make sure, and we can do this independently because these guys are not going to have multiple recipes. If we need another energizing orb, I'll move this one to the left, and we can have another one like right here or something, so I'm not too worried. Because I know we're not going to be doing the wireless transmission of power through this mod, but we've got the ability to do a couple things. So extract, and we will do not allow energized steel. Okay? So let's return these guys into here. And I actually want to do basic to... I guess, is there like a basic? Yeah, the basic tier upgrade. And we grab a pusher module. Or, what is it called? I know Sophisticated has this. Is it just the hopper module I'm thinking of? It might be. Okay, we've got the advanced hopper. So if I turn this to that, and I do this, and I get the steel, and I turn this to clear these guys, clear top and bottom, and then the front, we do push, and for the push, we say we want to allow that energized steel. Will this work? Okay. And then that does not appear to be the front. We'll just turn push on all sides. How about that? Sound good? That works? I hope. I just want to do like 16 of this then. Okay. So I'm seeing the first issue, which is what I was figuring. That's why I wanted to send the 16. The counting filter. Unless we turn blocking mode back on. Hold on. Let's cancel. I mean, this works. But now it's broken. Okay. So on the down direction, extract, change this to a counting filter. No. Is that the right one? On the up direction, insert, counting filter. There we go. I'll clear this guy out. Put these guys back in here. Cancel. Turn blocking mode back off. Say 16. And this should now function with no issues. It's just a little bit of shenanigans, right? I was just kind of messing around with a couple ideas. But, yeah, just 4 item cards, a laser node, the advanced hopper upgrade so we don't have to do any extra piping or anything of that sort. And, yeah, this works. All right. I'm from the future. I actually wanted to cut in and prevent myself from making a mistake, which I've already done, right? My past self has already done. You can see all the laser nodes, all this stuff. We could do pattern providers on these, and I kind of forget that every so often. I'm not 100% sure why. But basically, we can get rid of all of the weird shenanigans that I was doing. If you did not have, you know, AE2 and you needed to do this manually, Laser IO is a fantastic way, especially doing stuff independently. Now, I know that a lot of people also do these kind of just one singular energizing orb and call it a day. I don't like that personally, of course, because there is things like the Nitro, which requires blazing block crystals and all of that jazz. So I don't like to have potential backups. So let's just get all of this stuff taken apart, and we're going to redo this. I'm going to redo 1, and this actually should be pretty quick, because I've already kind of set out how I want to do this, and let's just get going. So, pattern provider, turn it from a flat to a full. Put this down. Grab the entangled block, which it looks like I do not have. So let's go in here. And we are going to bind this to the entangled block, which I'm just going to quickly put that down, break that block. Grab this. Grab a pipe upgrade of the advanced variety. I don't really need the ultimate. And we are going to do this, and we are going to also grab, which tier was this? This is the blazing. So the blazing crystal. We're going to add, we're going to just pop this guy in here, submit, and we should be golden there. And of course, we want to disconnect this old one and grab some cable. And that is good. Now we just got to put this pattern in here, and that is fantastic. Another thing that we can do is, instead of just doing crafting for blazing blocks, we can actually go ahead and we could do this recipe. So I actually want to do this here real quick. And we can actually pop that in here as well. And we could do the add, click and drag, submit, and that should also work. So if we go and send one of these, let's quickly get rid of that recipe. Just clear that out. Done. Perfect. So the one thing is, of course, if you have, 64 of these guys going and something requests this, it is going to take some time. And I did forget this. Blocking mode. Perfect. Aha, at least I catch it, right? But yeah, blocking mode is enabled. I don't know why it wasn't on that one either. I thought I enabled it, but maybe I destroyed it. But yeah, so that is done. Just a little bit of stuff I forget every so often. quite frequently. But yeah, you can see how quickly that's going. And while this is processing, of course, you would have a little bit of holdup from the nitro crystals, but that should be fine. So that is how we're going to go about doing this for the rest of these. I apologize for kind of like the idea, the heart attack I almost gave you guys of not doing this properly. But yeah, the laser IO is just definitely a good strat for beginning, but this is the better strategy for later on, which is where we kind of are. So, be right back. All right, we are completed. I do believe. I'm going to just run a couple of these guys here real quick. So there's that one. And then the Niotic. We'll run a couple of these guys. Perfect. Okay. So that is complete and done correctly. Yes, we could totally add more channels and stuff and do exports and all of that jazz, but I'm just going to ignore that and do tangle blocks and stuff to save channels. The next thing. This is one of the things that I was kind of trying to experiment around with. As you can see, blazing rods. You're probably like, well, what do you need blazing rods for? Well, this is actually in this recipe. And that is something that I did not catch. I thought this was actually just a blaze rod. But to get these, you need a blazing agitator. And all you do is you put this down, and you can see I've already got blaze rods in there that are turned into blazing rods. And basically, you can pull one directly, just like immediately if you wanted to, but over time, these guys will basically become energized, and you can then pull those out using pipes and whatnot. So you could automate this process if you wanted to, right? Which we will do, most likely, just not right now. But we do have the ability to have the blazing rods, which means that we have the one portion of this done, and also this portion. You know, we do technically have the ability to do that. We need the rainbow core, the ludicrite block, and the flux accessor. Now, the rainbow core, not going to be that difficult. We just need to go through and get all the different colors of glass. We already have netherite furnaces. So I'm just going to go do the rainbow core real fast. This one we're going to talk about, and then this one we'll have to talk about a little bit too. So be right back. Rainbow core acquired. All right. The next one is the ludicrite block, which plutonium, there is no actual recipe in here. If we go to uranium, this is something I discovered from Chosen Architect's videos, the mod author, the Modpack author, not mod author. There's probably some mods in here that he probably had some stuff, background in making, but we want to do the cyanite dust. And the cyanite ingot can then be put in a cyanite reprocessor to make the actual stuff that we need, the plutonium. So we need to just do this method, right? That's kind of where we need to go, and that's it. So uranium and sand. And a good thing is we actually have plenty of uranium, and we have our pulverizer over here. Look how fast that thing is going. I didn't even realize that. But this plus sand, and that will get us the cyanite dust. And then we need the cyanite reprocessor, which I think we need to smelt these, right? So we just toss these guys in here. And then the reprocessor, which requires some reactor casings, which is graphite, which is coal or charcoal. So charcoal. I don't have a whole bunch of charcoal, do I? Is it also coal? I thought it was also coal. It is also coal. Okay. Well, we don't need a whole lot of this, so we'll just let that go. So cyanite reprocessor, reactor casing, and also reactor fuel rod. And that should be everything we need. And then we're just going to put this guy down here. And we're going to do pipes. I guess I also do need fluid pipe. I kind of just instinctively grabbed it because I know we need water for this. And I still grabbed the wrong pipe. I grabbed two of the wrong pipe. I need an energy pipe. Okay. Cyanite reprocessing, not cyclical. I think I said cyclical earlier. I meant cyanite. Yeah, that. Okay. We'll go with it. And we're going to grab the cyanite. I think this is a 2-to-1. I think. We'll see. Yes, 2 to 1. And we need 4 of this to actually get this going. What is the, what is this? Like, what does this do? I'm kind of curious. 100% use chance. 31 billion. Goodness gracious. All right, let me get 4 of this. I'll let this all go, but we just really need 4 of this to get either this process or this process. We technically have the ability to do either or, so it's not like it's a big deal. And actually, I guess we actually already have it. So let's just go with tier 1, and that is Ludicrite. And the next one is the Flux Successor. So this isn't too difficult, but we do need energy processing, or processors, which are the Inscribed Energy Press, which is an iron block inside of a charger. So charger, and for right now, I'm just going to put this down here. Iron block. Okay. And then we just need an inscriber. And actually, let's just, yeah, we'll just do a normal inscriber. Kind of thinking of going big, but we won't do that. And then we just need charged redstone. Apparently, we actually still need the charger. Ooh, that can't, like, bounce off of it. Okay, hold on. So do this, do inscriber, do the charger, and we will put this in here, redstone. Oh, it's a redstone crystal. This thing likes making my life difficult, doesn't it? Not that difficult. Not really. Reaction chamber. I actually haven't ever talked about the reaction chamber. We haven't used any of this stuff. Kind of crazy to me that we haven't even considered using some of this stuff yet. But yeah, redstone crystal, we can just make it in here. So 16 redstone blocks. 16 fluix crystals. And a glowstone. 16 of that. And that should hopefully start working. For some reason, the power indicator's like right there. So that got us 64. Just the other one went over in that direction. Okay. Well, I will continue on this path. And we will get this cruising in a second. Also, I did just make a note that the reaction chamber technically can do an entire stack of these. I just noticed that. I will probably have to do another set, but that's okay. Let's just go ahead and do that real quick. Let's make one more of these guys. Set this guy down here, which he will fill with water. And let's go with redstone blocks, fluix crystals, and glowstone. Perfect. Throw that in here. Let that process. That makes a stack, pushes the stack over here. And I'm not too worried about the insufficient power. We will let it go. Okay, and then that is needing to be put in here. And the rest of this, by the way, is just normal, so I'm not going to really show that. I will go ahead and quickly make up 2 of these guys, get the Flux Successor. We'll be back. All right, Flux Successor. Fantastic. I think that should be everything. Right? What else am I missing? So we need the arch piece. This piece here. We need... That's it. I'm like psyching myself out. So it's just 6 items. Okay. All right. So the next thing, by the way, is that this also uses a lot of power. And I mean a lot of power. 2.1 million? Billion? Billion, huh? Yep. Fantastic. Okay. Get these items thrown down here. We're just going to toss this one actually in this guy here. We're going to let it go. And yeah, this is going to take a minute and probably tank our power a little bit. But hopefully we'll last. I would say since we have a lot of power storage, hopefully that will work. Because we are already tanking on power. Yikes. Yikes indeed. I think we'll be good. I think we'll be good. Just hopefully this gets done quick. We're about 50%. I'll be back when it's done. It has completed 2 billion power. Goodness gracious. And we're learning that thing right away. Okay. What can we use this thing for? That's gonna be a fun thing to mess with. We also can use this for a heat source. The Archimorph. The resin ball. Yeah, it looks like the biggest thing is this. And also inside of here. Which, would be used 100% of the time. We are golden, and we will get into this piece next episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been a fantastic episode. I'm excited that we've got this far. I mean, the next is definitely just kind of keeping going down this path, getting that transmutation portion. I mean, yeah, right? That's the transmutation interface. We'll see how that works. And I'm hoping it works out pretty cool. No idea what it actually is. I haven't seen it used before. And so we will see. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay awesome. And I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.